is about this unemployment, because this year's the Kashmir Monitor, it reported that J&K has become the J&K has the fourth highest unemployment rate in India, and CMI also reported, Center for Monitoring Economy in India also reported that the rate is about 16.2% in Kashmir. That is almost more than twice the national average, which is 7.1. And one more report suggested that there were almost 25,257 post-grads who had registered it was a census that they were jobless. And 16,055 had registered to a district counseling and education center that they were jobless. And this is not the full figure I'm giving. This is just a pixel of the picture. So what should we do? Because ultimately the question of unemployment makes the concept of education very delusional. Because you cannot motivate people, many people, not almost all, to study when you don't have jobs. People do education because they know we don't have jobs here.
Basically, this is the question which can be asked to the government people who can solve this problem. I am not in the push, but I can just give my opinion. Basically, our approach to education is totally wrong. I have been to many countries, so they are empowering through education to do whatever they want to do, not go for government job only. I have found that private universities more in Indonesia than in other parts of the world. 180 universities are being run by one trust. They have medical university, they have women university, they have medical colleges, they have everything. And I have seen that they are empowering students to do their own job, do their farming, and do other and knitting and such type of things they can do. But here we always depend on government job after studying, and we are not empowered. Even if a person has an orchard, he has a good business at his home, but when he goes for college or university, then he will never indulge in his own business. So what type of empowerment is this? And do you think that we understand until we become government employers, we will never just progress? No. As much as we depend on the employment, we will just not be helping our society at all. Let us go for the entrepreneurship. Let us go for the incubations. Let us go for the, our own farms, make our own initiatives, and try to become the job creators rather than job seekers. So in this way, if we have a lot of resources in our own country, in our own, in our own valley, if we are just utilizing those all resources, I think that we can earn our livelihood without waiting for the government job. But when we get government job, that's good. But if we don't get government job, then we'll do nothing. What is this? And this is not written in Quran. This is not in Hadith, that unless you get government job, you will not do anything. You will be idle. You will become depressed. Why? So do you mean that when you are going to study,
we need to redefine our education?
You're right. And secondly, we need to change our attitude also towards government job and life. Our attitude to life is totally, I should say, fossilized, let me tell you. Our approach is not realistic. So it is not possible for any government to give all people job. How it is possible? So thousands and thousands of graduates and postgraduates and PhDs, hundreds of PhDs are coming out every year from universities and colleges and other places. So how it is possible for any government, maybe USA even, to provide job to all, but provide skill, that is important. Provide some initiatives, and society has to also take some initiatives. And we need to create that. I have seen, I will tell you about Indonesia. When I was there, I saw that the girls and the boys, they are able to do anything. For example, once I had to go for a lecture in Pesantren at evening. Now 2 boys came to me in a car. That was car from the university. And suddenly there was puncture in the tire up, and they were able to correct that puncture, and they were knowing it. And then I had some problem in my washroom, and the person who was taking care of our household, so he was able to correct that. We did not go to any engineer. And when there was rain in Indonesia, I was there for 1 month, 1.5 months, 2 years back, and it was rainy season. And whenever there was rain anytime, after 5 minutes, there was no water logging at all. Such type of drainage system they have. They have made their life practical. And everyone is practical, and they're earning their livelihood by their own means. They don't wait for others to help them. They help others. So we need to make our youth to understand this point. If you want to have a dignity, you need to do your job on your own. If you have a farmhouse at home, if you have an orchard, you have some business, do that unless and until you get the job. But there are professionals who have done engineering and MBBS. They should be provided jobs because they are skilled people. They need some place where they can work. They can't work in home. They can't work in factory. So that is there. We need to have rationalization about this. So government, society, and the entrepreneurs and the society at large and private sector, they have to come together and help out these youth so that they may get some job. And there is possibility of job. Some of my students are doing some business. MashaAllah, they are providing business. They are providing jobs to many people. And some of them are just doing job also. So I am happy with both, and I encourage both. So there's nothing wrong in that. So we need to change our mindset also for many things.
Sir, before we go to last question, we have one small question about drug addiction in Valley. The reports are that SMHS report, I have read it online, which says that the professor there said that we have received drug addicts as early as at the age of 8. And there were some 600, although we cannot give hard figures, but the website wrote that they are in the high hundreds. There are many people who are addicted to drugs, heroin, cocaine, and other things. So what should we do? What's the solution here? What is the remedy here?
Yeah, that's good. Basically, this is also a problem which we have been tackling, mashallah, as Shama Foundation, Islamic Relief Trust, many programs we had because we are conscious of these facts. Problem with our intellectuals and our professors and our teachers is that we, unless and until we become retired, we don't do any social work. That's the problem. We people could help our society better because we are well versed with the knowledge and other things, subjects also. And we have good relations. For example, when I used to organize such programs, drug addiction, I would just bring some psychiatrists, I would bring some doctors, I would bring some social workers, I would bring some teachers, I would bring some lawyers, and then I will bring some people from the administration, and then we could just see the problem in a holistic perspective and come up with some solutions. So this drug addiction, we need a concerted efforts for this, and we need to have special program for drug addiction only, where we can just talk this in threadbare, and I have already talked about that. So maybe in this small duration of time, but we can't just tackle this issue fully.
Yes, sir.
But one point is that we need to support these people who have already become addicts so that they may come out from this, and that is possible, mashallah. And religion is the best solution and panacea for them as well. When religion comes in your heart, everything goes away. Alhamdulillah. So then you believe in Allah. Then you don't believe in drugs. You don't believe in it, and you should understand that you should not give your own life to destruction. And this has been considered that this drug addiction is to destroying yourself. It's a type of silent suicide. It's a silent suicide. So that, no one has given any right to anyone to take his life, because it is the great bounty of Allah. So we should sensitize our youth, and we should try to solve their problems, give them company so that they can be taken out. And whatever the agencies are working for this, private or government, to the addiction, so we should help them, support them. We should not think that it's their job; it's our job also. So let us become responsible citizens. We can help our society. Okay.
Yes.
So
Sir,
now we can
before
have
we take questions from our yes.
Maybe
Yes,
just
before we
have
take questions from others, I would like to just last question here. You recently had released a video on interaction with Iqbal, and that reminded me that what are some of the lessons that you would like to share for our youth from Allama Iqbal? And you have already written a book, Defy Iqbal, and I was on that occasion there. So you have a great expertise in Iqbal. So what would you like to share with our youth from the teachings of Iqbal? Some of the things from yourself.
Only one lesson I will give. When Iqbal was reading Quran every day in morning, once his father came to him, "Oh, my son, what are you doing?" He said, "I am reading Quran." "How you read it?" He said, "I am reading." So this is not reading of the Quran. Read Quran as just being revealed on you. And that day and this day, Iqbal used to be in tears when he was reading Quran, and that changed his life. if our youth will just only follow this instruction from the life of Allama Iqbal, everything will be changed after some time. Alhamdulillah, we have got this feeling from Iqbal. Alhamdulillah, I am also trying to do like this. Others also do. And if our youth do this, and then Iqbal will become relevant to them, Quran will become relevant to them. So Iqbal being a barrister at law, being a philosopher, but who has given them this respect? It is Quran. He says, Teri nazru mein hai meri kitabe, meri nazru mein Quran mubin hai. You are reading my books, I read only Quran. So when you are just such a great man, still you are reading Quran, and we are nothing. So how much attachment we should have with Quran? And Gartu mi khahi Musalman zistan. If you want to become a Muslim, remain a Muslim. You will never become a Muslim unless you read Quran. Now our youth, and we will be having inshallah the Quran al-Fajr program online. And if the youngsters who want to learn Quran in English, I have been just sending Quran al-Fajr installments for last 10 years. And I have covered so far Surah Baqarah, Surah Noor, and Surah Kahf, and Surah Fatiha. So we'll be having that inshallah. So this is the message from me and from Iqbal to you, that you take Quran as your guide, and then you'll find that your life will change. And this is the best lesson I have got from his life. Thank you.
We will introduce that Quran al-Fajr in our group very soon. So before that,
inshallah,
introduce that, I would like to ask, yes, definitely. We would love to be there with you, inshallah. So from those who are present here, if someone has some question to ask, he can ask respected sir, especially Ghabit if he is here. Ghabit, do you hear me?
Yes, Faisal. Yeah, Faisal, you're audible to me, and
so
I will definitely ask some. Yeah, please carry on.
Okay.
Sir, this is Ghabit Nabi. He is actually studying at Delhi University English Literature. He had some questions to ask. Please, Ghabit, go ahead.
Sir. I hope you're fine, and it has been an honor to be with you, to have you with us. And truly, I feel really overwhelmed because major of my confusions related to atheism, ideological crisis, feminism have been cleared beautifully. Thank you so much for being with us, and it's truly an honor to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So inshallah, I'll be
most
with you,
welcome, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, I have very small concepts, actually few problems related to youth, which I want to discuss with you and ask for the solutions. Into three questions. The first question is that of the relationship issue with the youth right now. Sir, if I give you statistics that 7 out of 10 youth are right now in illicit relationships, and I'm talking about the Muslim thing, is this relationship has been justified and modernized and portrayed in the society so that a person feels very inferior if she doesn't have a relationship, doesn't have a boyfriend, girlfriend. And particularly Muslims, they feel so inferior, they feel so down, they feel so low in relationships as it has been portrayed in the society. And the relation has been so much, this illicit relationship has been so much justified, so much portrayed that the Muslim youth, if you warn them about this issue, they say that we are having this pure issue, we are having this pure feeling.
Yeah.
As Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Hazrat Aisha Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anha, their wives and Sahaba do this too. So how do you convince youth with such things when their heart is not ready to accept, or when their heart feels that they are not doing something wrong? So this is the first question which I want a solution from you.
Okay, let me just tell you, because I had been the student of JNU, you know this, perhaps you do know. I had been the student of JNU. I already know these things.
Yes, sir, you told earlier.
Yeah, then I was student of Kashmir University earlier. Then I have been teaching there, then Kashmir Central University, and I have visited many parts of the world, many universities, about 100 universities. And I have seen these things everywhere, even in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in Turkey, and other places also. Not only about, South Asia. So the problem is that as I was talking about philosophies in the earlier section, so basically when the philosophy is that you are not responsible for anything and your life is for hedonism, that is to have maximum pleasure, and that pleasure is being given to you easily. that's available to you, and there is co-education, you can meet, you can dine, you can go together, and then there is campus is there, and there is free mixing possible. So in such circumstances, if these things will not happen, what else will happen? So only a heart which is fearing Allah, like Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam, such people can be saved from such type of fitna, I should say. But this is not the problem, just to say this, but there has to be some strategy for this, how we can just convince our youth so that they may be away from, especially Muslim youth. So this is the fear of Allah and fear of death, fear of grave. And there is the best solution has been given by Badiuzzama Nursi. So he has written a book, Youth and Islam, and he has written a book on youth. And if every student is going through that book, then I don't think so any boy or girl will just dare to do any such type of thing. And this is the best book for on youth he has written. And then he has shown how these type of tendencies can be controlled only by the fear of death and grave. So that needs also iman, that needs also a guide and a teacher. So I believe that if we are just distracting our youth from these activities to some academic activity, some sports activity, some philanthropic activity, and some social activity, that is possible that we can make them to just get rid of these type of relationships when the prestige point becomes your work for society, for poor, for the deprived. So that is possible, and we have been doing that. When I was in JNU, we used to do this in illegal sexual anarchy and such type of waywardness. There are philosophies behind this. It is not without reason. But there are still people in our society who are just, as you said, 3 at least. But there are more than that. I have seen some such youth, mashallah. When we see to them, we remember the days, old age of our ancestors. So that is possible to control. And that's basically, what is this? This is the, as Quran says, that Satan has made these things beautiful. But if you go close to it and see its consequences, you'll feel this is the most despised thing. But in young age, you don't realize the consequences. That is because you don't have any knowledge about that, and you are being encouraged to indulge in these things. So the best knowledge of your religion, the best activities for poor people, and doing some philanthropic work, social work, or literary work, or engaging yourself in some alternative activity, that will ward off you from all these things. And that has happened, and that will happen. So we should not feel inferior. They should feel inferior that when you go for marriage. Marriage is a natural consequence of your job and other things. So why you are wasting your time and your energy and everything and your morality? And then if you realize your preciousness of your time, then you'll never think about those things. But problem is that there is no control from the parents. There is no control from the society. There is no control from the clergy. And there is no control from the teachers and the universities and the education institutions, so to just discourage students from indulging in these activities, because these activities lead also to the frustration and suicidal tendencies sometimes, and a lot of crimes also take place afterwards. So if we realize as responsible citizens, whatever position we have, teacher, student, clerk, or parent, or whatever, then definitely we can help these youngsters to come out from such type of feelings and tell them that this is not good for you anyway. This is going to harm you in all aspects. And they will be convinced, inshallah. I have seen people coming in tears to me sometimes when they have just passed through some experience. And then they leave these things. We have to encourage the early marriage. We should not wait for marriages unless you get a job and you have become 40 years of age. But we have made it something taboo that if we marry during studentship or when we are just doing PhD, so then we can't marry. Why not? You can't do that. And then you should just work for something, work for your family. So in this way, this is the solution. And there are other solutions for this. Inshallah, we can have separate sessions on all these issues.
Sure, sir. Inshallah. Inshallah, sir. Sir, one more question. It's a very simple question, but it has here in I have one more question actually. This question has been in the back of my mind since very beginning, and this has really engulfed me and engulfed a lot of youth out there who are very athletic in passion. Sir, speaking fluently, my passion is with sports. I'm a cricket player. I'm a cricketer, and my passion for it drives me crazy most of the times. But the thing is that if you are in sports, you have to start believing in yourself. You have to start believing in your abilities, and you have to make yourself believe that you are the best and you can bring the best out of yourself.
Okay.
But so whenever I try to bring that out in myself, the fear of getting egoistic, the fear of getting pride in myself engulfs me, and it gives me goosebumps and anxiety. I want to motivate myself because I know it's right from my heart that I know I'm the best. I can bring out the best in myself. I can beat any opposition in my whenever they are in front of me, any opposition, any bowler, any fielder. But thing is, whenever I try to convince myself about this, the fear of pride, ego, and that anxiety engulfs me. Because am I being? I just ask myself questions. Isn't this ego? Isn't this putting people lower than yourself? So what should I do with this?
Basically, this is Satan which is inciting you to think like this. Basically, see, Allah has given you some talent, some competence you have. Allah has given that, and you should value that. And you should think that I will be tested by Allah in this. I should do the best in this. Because there are cricketers who have played very important role, not only for their countries, but also for Islam. They have preached people, and they have brought people to Islam, hold of Islam. Secondly, if Allah has given you this capacity and competence, you should never think that it is ego. It is Allah is giving to you, and you are praising Allah when you are utilizing that talent which Allah has given to you. Never think like this, that the Satan making you, and there should be no ego, because you have a limitation, you have a competence. You go for sleep, you wake up in the morning. So there is limitation and there is talent. So in this way, you should balance your weaknesses with your competences, and then you'll find, okay, sometimes you will be doing best in the field, sometimes you will not doing, then the ego will go, and Allah balances people. He puts us in such circumstances, but ego, he just crushes that ego by something coming to us. So let us leave that. Allah,
please turn off your microphone. It is disturbing, sir.
Now let us have next time, now on maybe next Saturday we can have this program. So every week we can have this. Okay.
Yes.
So today I think the reception.
Thank you so much, sir, for these overwhelming answers.
We'll discuss more, inshallah. Take care. Huh? All the best.
If anyone has any, okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So nice. So they have nice time, and
thank you, sir, for your time.
Inshallah, we'll meet you next time. Inshallah. Maybe same time.
Sir,
on
actually,
Saturday.
we are very, very grateful that you gave us your time, and we would like to thank you wholeheartedly. But we would like to apologize because of the signal reasons and other reasons we could not do it the way we had intended. So for that, we apologize, and inshallah, sir, what are the days in which you have started your Al Quran Fajr program? What is the date that you have selected?
We can do this on Fridays, I think so. We can have two programs. One is on Friday.
So
timing will be, I think that 7:30 is okay. If it is okay for you, or of Sundays, then we can have it in the morning.
Yes, sir, yeah.
You just decide about that, which time will be best suitable for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Tell me that, and 1 hour only.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.